Germany and France, September 13, 2023, where a destructive storm accompanied by historic hailstorm hit these two European regions. After a short but violent storm with heavy hail, the city of Worms in Rhineland-Palatinate was transformed into a white winter landscape on Tuesday. Photos on civil protection websites show streets covered in white and close-up of massive hailstones. According to the special team, there were a total of 120 missions due to the storm by 10 p.m. Accordingly, cellars and streets were flooded by ice. In some parts of the city, including Hernsheim, Friedrichshain, and Wissopenheim, windows were broken and cars were damaged. At times, the emergency numbers were overloaded, although the number of answering points were increased at the beginning of the storm. According to the Works Department, the roads were less passable late the evening, but there could be disruption, they said. The special team advised against avoidable trips. Only several kilometers further in the direction of Windstrasse, not a single drop of rain fell on the ground, as residents from the Palatinate reported to the FAS. Several buildings and around Worms were damaged by the storm. Some of the hailstones were over 5 centimeters large, really like a table tennis ball, and there were gusts up to 107 kilometers per hour. It rained up to 45 liters per square meter. In the Cohemzell district, which line of Moselle, lightning struck a residential building. There was no electricity in some areas for around 5 hours due to the storm in the Rheinland-Palatinate district. The vineyards have been destroyed and some of the harvest is actually no longer available. There are no leaves left on the vines and the grapes are actually 100% destroyed because of the hailstorm. Not only Germany, France also experienced a similar incident. The first storm broke in the middle of the afternoon in the Estagel sector. Then toward Rasiguères, Latour-de-France, there were the first hail showers and some damage already to be deplored. After 6 p.m., a very large part of Rhineland Orientalis found itself under rain or hail. On social networks, residents multiplied photos and videos of the rain which was falling hard. The territorial sector was particularly affected in the early evening with closed roads and therefore traffic problems all around Thuir. In Canojes, it feels like a ski resort as if it had snowed. According to Major Chin, after an impressive downpour with hailstones as big as marbles, an avalanche of water and hail for 10 minutes. Several homes were flooded by 10 to 30 centimeters of water. Dozens of cars are damaged. The hailstorm also affected police trace where a crisis unit was quickly opened. There is a lot of damage between the windshields and the roller shutters. In Polestres, the water was cut off for almost an hour. Lightning struck the lightning rod of the lifting station. At the beginning of the evening, according a whole part of the department, the special team were mobilized and requested waiting to list all the damage. The municipalities of Lubia, Troyes, Terrat, Correia-de-Vercol, Peza were also affected among others. A train broke down following an electrical problem on the line. The passengers in the early evening had to be evacuated by buses chartered by the SNFC. In Perpignan, the first heavy rains and hailstorm shortly after 6 p.m. caused traffic jams in the city center and on the riverbank roads.
23 de noviembre de 2021.
The gymnasium was affected. A piece of false ceiling fell, where leaks in the gymnasium and offices. On Wednesday, strong storm caused flooding and heavy hail in southwestern Germany. According to the first reports, there were massive impacts, especially in Rhineland-Palatinate. Other photos show the size of hailstones that hit the city in the evening. Some drivers were probably caught unprepared by the storm. The storm also hit the surrounding area of the city. Numerous fields and fields were covered with hailstones. A winemaker showed a photo of his vineyard on X, formerly Twitter, which was also covered in a white layer. The storm accompanied by hail was the second worst in recent times to hit Germany and France. Previously, similar things also happened, but it didn't have such a big impact like now.